Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Pro Real Estate Team's YouTube channel here. I'm JJ Velador alongside my co-host and business partner, Jake Rockwell. Jake, say hi to the guys.
What's happening, everyone? Happy Monday.
Yeah, Monday around here at the time of this recording. So today we got an interesting topic for team leaders, and I think it's a fun one. I think a lot of people always are wondering, how do I distribute leads to my team members? So there's a few different ways you can go about it. There's the round robin, there's the Shark Tank, there's ponds, give them a couple other examples, Jake. What else is there?
Yeah, like you said, you can round robin through CRM. You can do a blast. You can, like Zillow does with blasting live transfers. You can, do opportunity time or floor time. There's lots of different ways to distribute leads, and there's not necessarily any wrong way or right way. There's just trying to figure out what is really best for the team, and how to best do that.
That's right.
But yeah.
That's right. And today we're going to show you exactly how we do it for our team, on pace to sell nearly 500 homes. So stay tuned for that, and let's jump right into it.
Yeah, for what we do, we've got a 50 to 60 person team, do a couple $100 million in volume, and we've changed how we distribute leads over the course of the years. Currently, what we have going on is, so Zillow is kind of separate. And so those that are on Zillow Flex, obviously you're probably distributing the leads the same way. They blast out to the agents that are on Zillow, and those agents take those leads and they are to obviously update the Zillow app, their CRM, with where those leads are, the notes and so forth. Some CRMs integrate really well with Zillow, and you only have to update in the CRM and it updates Zillow. And so that's the current way we do Zillow, right?
Yep.
Now, all other lead sources currently flow into our CRM, and they get distributed to a third-party ISA company that does the 10 days of pain for our company, and or for all of our inbound leads except for Zillow and except for floor time. We'll get into that. So those leads all flow into our CRM, and they flow into the third-party ISA company. That third-party ISA company then does the 10 days of pain, and they're creating opportunities for the agents. They're creating live transfers or appointments, phone appointments mainly. Mm-hmm. And the way we distribute those they are blasted out to our team. Most of them are blasted out to everyone that's on live transfers with our team. And convert the third-party ISA company, whose conversion monster is calling one number, and it's ringing the phones of all of our agents, and whoever picks it up is the one that's getting it. So speed to lead is obviously tremendously important in our industry, and so that's why we do that. There's somebody waiting on the phone to talk to an agent, so whoever first answers that call is who's getting that lead.
Yep. Now, so most people know that as the kind of the Shark Tank method, right? Your agents are the piranhas in essence, and you drop it in there, and it's like, all right, who's hungry? So yep. Who's going to be the fastest to service that client, if you will?
Yeah, and that's not necessarily the perfect way, because you don't want to necessarily have you can change that up a little bit to where maybe you have high-end properties or high-end listings. You need to maybe go to an agent that specializes in that or is more experienced, or maybe you have different locations, and so different agents will be on that. So you use a different phone number for a different set of criteria. Maybe listings in general, go to a listing manager that controls all the listings in your team. So you can separate that, kind of like you can do in Zillow lead routing. It's just a lead routing mechanism that you set up with that third-party ISA company. So that happens, while at the same time, those leads do end up in the CRM. And because the ISA company in those 10 days of pain, they're only getting a hold of and doing live transfers on 10 to 30% of those, Well, the other 70 to 90% of those leads end up in the CRM. And we then take those leads and add them to ponds, to where our agents, if they want extra activity, extra leads to work, because there's going to be leads and people that don't get a hold, that aren't reached through the third-party ISA company or ISAs on our team, that the agents might be able to reach them doing something else. Maybe they're knocking on their door or finding them on social media or whatever, or maybe the timing wasn't right. So now they're in ponds, and the agents can come in and claim those leads. And when an agent claims those leads, there's a series of standards that they have with those leads. They need to obviously keep them up to date. They need to put notes in there. They need to adjust the statuses and so forth. So that's,
yeah. So I know a question that comes up a lot in this industry is which CRM is the best, and the typical answer is the one you use. But I mean, when you actually get down into the grassroots of this thing, and the CRM needs to be able to have a set of rules, right? I know that you have your agents with what you were just describing with a quote unquote set of rules, how they manage a lead. If not, that lead goes back into the pond. Can you talk a little bit on that?
yeah. So for example, we are currently using KV Core. However, I made that crazy decision to change CRMs right now, and we're in the middle of that. Nothing that is super wrong with KV Core. We are just moving to Follow Up Boss. It's much easier, has more for what we're looking for. It'll work a lot the same. But let me just share my screen real quick. You'll have to enable that. But I'll show some of the different settings in the ponds. But basically, if an agent doesn't if they claim a lead and they don't apply a campaign to it, a follow-up campaign, it will get taken back from them, because I don't want people to just claim a lead, have it sitting in there and nothing done.
That's right.
And so like when I share my screen here, we're here on, can you see KV Core?
Yep.
Yep. So this is our pond. If I go to pond settings, we have these settings where, within 1 day, they have to have a campaign on it. Number of past due calls, tasks, so that when they apply that campaign, it's going to create some calls and tasks that the agent has to do because they wanted that lead. If they don't complete those, then that lead will go back to the pond for someone else to work. Basically, the agent isn't doing what they agreed to do when they claim the lead. And they may be doing it, but if they're not logging it in the CRM, in our world, it doesn't happen in the CRM, it doesn't happen. And so, which is always a wrestling match with agents in getting them to do that. And so we're working on making it easier for the agents to use the CRM. That's part of the reason why we're moving over to Follow Up Boss. But there's a lot of different things you can do to automate. Well, we're big on processes and automation, and the more we can take out of the hands of the agent so that they can just focus on the communication, we're doing, which this process is okay, but we're like any other team. We're always trying to find a better way. And there always will be a better way, and we're not perfect. This has helped us get to where we are with 400 or 500 transactions a year and 200 million. But we're going to 1,000+ transactions and a lot bigger. And so we're figuring out, okay, how are we going to get there? And what we've realized is we want to cut out the funnel pieces that the agents don't like doing, the prospecting, the follow-up. So we're going to go even deeper into the ISA model so that we can control our leads, the money we're spending on marketing to generate business to our brand. We want to take more control as a company on those leads so that we're converting more. And when we're converting more, the agents are converting more and selling more, and they're putting a block of time back on their calendar. They don't have to do it. They're going to be able to jump into that funnel further down the funnel, closer to the end of it, right?
That's
and
right.
So that's where we're shifting. That's some of the changes. We're changing CRMs and getting more into the ISAs. We're using the third-party ISA, but we're going to implement more internal in-house ISAs as well, to really make sure that I can go to sleep at night knowing that nothing falls through the cracks. And if
That's right.
nothing falls through the cracks, everyone on our team will do better.
Yeah, we've talked about it quite a bit where it's just the dollars per hour activity, right? For an agent, per se. If you're the team leader and then you've told me this before multiple times that your client now as a team leader is your team members. That's who your client is, correct?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, our job. Yep.
and if you're helping your clients succeed at a higher level, you don't want them bogged down on writing up an addendum, doing the cold calls. Those are all great things that any agent should do if you're not on a high producing team. But if you're on a high producing team investing multiple thousands of dollars into lead generation and you have the capability to put someone on the phone full time and that speed of lead, then where is the highest income producing activities for your agents? It's sitting in front of a listing person ready to list their house, correct? Or someone that is currently wanting to purchase a house. So if you can put them in more of those opportunities, the team's going to grow, more revenue is going to come in. And as I've seen many times with you, is everything you lead with revenue. You're adding more and more to the team, but the only way to do that is more revenue comes into the team.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. I mean, it's a business, and too many times the real estate is not being ran quite as a business when you're an individual agent or as a team. There's in every other business, there's seats. This person's in charge of this person's in charge of this. And when you have one person focused on one area of the business, they can do it great. And we know that agents don't like to do the prospecting. They don't like to do the follow-up. I mean, there might be some that do it really well. Do they really like it? There might be a few rare ones that just love making lots and lots of calls before they get to show a home, but not like
But if we really, really pick that apart, that person would still rather be showing a home than making the calls, right?
Yeah, and most likely if we can keep the prospecting and the follow-up ultra consistent and high quality, then that person's going to show more homes. They're going to sell more homes. They're going to list more homes. You know what I mean? And we can control that for them. Anyway, that's back to the lead distribution. That's how we currently do it. We will be moving more and more to the ISA model, to where we're just setting appointments for our agents. To go back to the floor time, so we get a lot of inbound calls, just calling in, hey, I want to list my house, or we're looking to buy, or whatever, just from the years of being in business. And so we have had those. We've done floor time where people have shifts. You can call it floor time, you can call it opportunity time, and we may continue some of that with the ISA part. But the similar problem with that is if you're on floor time, $2 million listing comes in, but you're 6 months in the business, that it's not quite the best fit for the client or the company, though we don't necessarily want the agent to lose out on that opportunity. So we're trying to evolve that and have that eventually go into the ISA department so that they can determine who the best fit is. Now, going into the ISA department model, we need to figure out a proper way to distribute the appointments. And the way we're going to do it is just based on production. What was the production in the last 60 to 90 days for this agent? The more production you're doing, the more appointments you're going to get. Because as a team leader, business owner, I want to make sure that the agent is doing the most production, is getting equal the amount from the team. Hey, you're bringing in 10 deals every 90 days. I want to make sure that I'm getting you as many deals as possible as well. And then that, I think, is the most fair, and agents can see it's fully transparent. This is what you can expect in the number of appointments you get.
Yeah. And I think that for me, I've thought about that quite a bit as well with a lot of different models that I've seen. I think that a lot of teams have kind of drifted into the participation trophy award type, where you just kind of are there and then you're in essence rewarded just for being around, right? And then I've seen a lot of high team producing teams where it's like, no, the person that's your best agent, that is closing deals, the strong negotiation skills, that is showing up to trainings, training, giving back to the team, again, come back to closing deals. well, that person is being rewarded more on different team models. So it sounds like you have a little bit of a hybrid because you love helping agents grow their careers from zero, right? You can't really go the whole, nope, this is my main closer, I'm going to feed all the deals to him, because then you have resentment on a team. But then you also have to help bring these newer agents up to speed. So you're kind of running that hybrid model where all people are happy within the business model. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I mean, we're not bringing the last thing we want to do is bring in a new agent that's not going to be successful. And I mean, our goal is to help everybody get everything they want in life, not just selling real estate, but everything, because that just elevates everything. And so that's our main focus. And it helps create a really good culture. And I don't know that we've talked about culture, but we will at some point. And it just adds. It leads, and lead distribution is one pillar of the entire wheel that makes a great team. And I think it's important, but a lot of agents expect leads. And so setting that expectation and letting them know exactly what they're going to get, how they're going to get it, but also letting them know that it also comes at a price, in not only what you're going to be held accountable to with those leads, what those splits might be, and so forth.
Perfect. So today we covered lead distribution for team leaders, how we're currently doing it to sell nearly 500 homes a year. We talked about our current setup, Blast, Pawns. We talked about Conversion Monster, our third-party ISA program, the 10 Days of Pain a little bit we covered. We talked about how these are now moving to appointments for agents, and that we're in KV Core currently, but moving over to Follow Up Boss, which will bring another video to you guys as we roll out Follow Up Boss for our team, let you know our pros and cons and what we're liking, what we're not liking about that. We'll bring you another video. And then we talked about cutting out the top of the funnel, a little bit about floor time, and then the proper way for these leads to be distributed and based on production. So with that, Jake, do you have any final thoughts for the audience that you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, I think the thing to keep in mind is there's not any one perfect way for every team. Not every shoe always fits. And I think what's important is if you're a team leader out there and you're running a team, get a hold of us. Let's jump on a call and let me help you set up the right lead distribution method and model for your team. We love helping others. We love collaborating with others. Whenever we help others, we're also learning at the same time. So, pick up the phone, click on our contact link, and let's chat. Let's see how we can help you with your model as well when it comes to lead distribution.
Absolutely. So you guys, for that, to book a one-on-one with us, use the link in the description below. Our editors say we have to tell you to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell for future episodes there. But in all seriousness, we're here to help you grow your business. This industry has given us so much that we just want to give back to something that has created an abundance of wealth for the both of us. So, Jake, any super last thoughts on this for these guys?
No, I think you keep driving, and it's just a matter of continuing to move the needle and continuing to improve your team for your agents, for your company, and so forth. And this is one way to do it.
All right, guys, we're signing out. Take care. Till
All right.
next time.